Hello, hi, and welcome to 5 Unscripted. Kalibitso, Bae Boipelo Mooketsi, and I am your radio bae. Hanging out with someone who I've actually tried to get in touch with for a while until we were at an interview together, and I was like, yes, this is my chance. Sabelo Ncube, better known as Papa Ghost.
Let's go. I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
How are you, Papa
I'm
Ghost?
good. How are you, Boipelo?
I am fantastic.
Awesome.
I'm super excited to have you here. I actually, the first time I saw you was at the Metros, but it was busy.
Oh yeah, the metros were hectic.
It was busy.
Yeah.
So when I saw we were on Daily Teta together, I was like, all right, I love it. And now you're finally here.
I'm so happy to be here because
Yes.
I remember I just had a brief chat with you and I was like, okay, I need to speak with this lady. She's definitely got the scoop.
Oh man. All right,
Yeah.
cool. So we're going to get to know you a little bit better.
Cool.
I kind of already know how you got your name, Papa Ghost.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure you get that all the time. How did
Yeah.
you get the name?
Yeah, I've answered that question.
Yeah,
about
you.
20
Yeah, I can imagine, and that's because you used to move like a ghost in
Yeah.
your younger years.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I
and
lived
then-
in a different province
and
from
then whenever you
Joburg,
come
and
to
I'd
Joburg,
just pop in
you
and pop
appear.
out, and they'll be like, it's a lost ghost from the East Coast.
Yes.
You know, and
Alrighty.
it got progressively shorter as time went by to just ghost.
Okay, cool. And then
Yeah.
your nieces and nephews
Added the papa.
because you're their papa.
Yeah, because
and that's how you got it.
Yeah, I'm the papa dog.
All right,
So
Papa Dog.
it became Papa Ghost. And I was like, okay, I actually like
vibe with
that.
that.
And like Ghost is like a very hard name to get
Yeah.
around with when you're
Yeah.
like a brand. So, you know, to add a little
Flavor nyana.
razzle to it, to
Aromate.
dazzle it, then yeah.
I want to know why you moved like a ghost. Why did you do that?
I was just young, wild, and free. You know, I was
Oh.
a law student and a DJ at the same time. I know
Yeah.
those two things don't make sense. But what does? What do I do that makes sense?
Yeah.
But like, so I was basically popping in and out of town because I was making a bit of money. I could afford to buy myself a plane ticket
Yeah.
to come to a friend's event in Joburg on a Wednesday night
And
then
fly
fly
back.
back out on a Thursday, you know.
Okay.
So it kind of became, I started doing it for fun at some point.
Okay. You were just living.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
hope my
you
mom
moved
doesn't
like a
watch
ghost.
these interviews because she'd be like,
She probably does. I can realize she's your best friend.
she does.
She
Maybe
does.
she's just choosing to keep quiet about it. Like, let's let bygones be bygones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of growing up, you come from a family of creatives and creators.
much.
We know that your brother's a well-known South African figure, Andile Ncube.
Yeah.
Your sister's also a model and
Yeah.
sort of in the creative space. I want you to take us back to a time where you guys were all of you growing up, from cousins, just your entire family. What's a normal family get-together looking like as creative children growing up?
Okay, so immediately, like, my mind goes to my grandmother's house in
Okay.
Pretoria in Atteridgeville, which is where my father's from and where I'm from.
Yeah.
On holidays, we'd all gather there. Like, our parents would all come and dump us there, and there'd be like 27 of us, nieces and nephews. And all my grandmother's grandchildren, you know.
Yeah.
And every single day was a production. Every single day was a production. People were practicing dance moves. People were practicing plays. We were doing people were making music. We were literally just always like in this melting pot of, hey, we're going to have fun. What are we going to do tonight? We're going to tell stories. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So I've always just been surrounded by creative people and been free to be a creative myself because of
Yeah.
that. So I think that's where initially just my comfort with exploring creativity came from. And more personally, in my immediate home with my brother and my sister, like, my brother's a crazy storyteller. I've always enjoyed the way he told stories. He actually inspired me to start telling stories.
Oh, nice.
You know, and he actually went to a film school and he learned how to act. Well, learned how to act, but like he is majoring in performance art and all of that.
nice.
And he's just always been that person. I thought he was going to be an actor because of just the way that he
Yeah.
was when we were growing up. And same with my little sister. She was always performing. She was always making us sit down and those little kiddie chairs.
Yep.
And have a
watch
seat
me.
and like there's 4 chairs and it's you and 3 teddy bears.
Yeah.
Watching
Yeah.
this show.
Oh,
And
my word.
literally that's the kind of world I grew up in. Not to mention that my parents really loved music.
Yeah.
So they collected a lot of music. I had access to a lot of music growing up.
And then you grow up, you are finding your way in life. You're finding yourself also, figuring out what you like, what you don't like. At what point do you realize, okay, actually, I want to do music. I want to write. I want to tap into every avenue of my creativity. Take us to that stage in your adulthood.
Sorry, I'm going to totally botch your question because it actually starts when I'm a kid.
Yeah, I know, but I want
writing
us to...
my own things and doing my own things
Yeah.
and like going crazy at home by myself.
You wrote your first song at what, 6? Or did you
I
say
think
8?
I was like 8 years old.
That's insane.
Yeah, but
That's-
but
That's insane. I want to get to a point where you were like an adult now.
I moved back from
Yeah.
Port Elizabeth. I left school. I moved back from Port Elizabeth. I got myself a job and I was working in IT security. And for 3 years, I worked in IT security. I worked at the presidency. And I enjoyed it because I was learning a lot and it was very challenging. And I was trying to balance that out with the new acquaintances I was making in the musical space and trying to go through my work day being a serious person at the presidency and then leaving in the evening to go to studio. And it got a little bit, too much for me. And I had to make a decision in the end. And I remember sitting down with my dad, my late father, and he was like, dude, you need to choose what you want to do because no one's going to live your life for you. You might think that because you have a good job that can afford you all kinds of things, that is not going to be the source of your happiness. And that's not going to be the source of you feeling like you're living a fulfilled life. So you need to make up your mind.
Yeah.
So I left my job and I decided to invest a little bit that I had saved up in studio equipment. And it's been, I think, 8 years now. Since then.
And the rest is history.
As they say.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then how do you get to like, okay, you've got all this equipment. Now you're like, I'm pushing this music thing. How do you get to a point where you're working with the likes of DJ Dimplez and all these really cool producers and DJs and artists?
It's a long, tedious, strenuous road, but very much fun. So, I mean, there's like this demo scene in the music industry where like certain unreleased songs will float around and through producers, through composers, and more prominent artists will get to hear them and then they'll want to either be involved or take over the production to release it themselves and stuff like that. So that's basically what happens. Those are the mechanics, but in a more whimsical, poetic way.
Yes.
I worked tirelessly day and night.
Yeah. Blood, sweat,
producing and
tears.
writing all kinds of music and moved from studio to studio, meeting all kinds of people. And eventually it all came together. There's a guy by the name of J Cloud. He's an R&B vocalist.
Yes.
And we linked up together and formed a collective called The Architects. And we basically music producers. And when we did that, that's when everything started changing because Jay has this amazing voice. Look, I love singing, but I'm no Grammy-winning vocalist. So he came through, and with that, and I came through with my writing style, and we merged that together. And I think the product we started producing from there, really, people couldn't resist it. And the likes of DJ Speedsta was one of the first people to pick up one of our songs. And that's where it all started.
And then top three songs you've ever worked on. Just 3. I know you're not allowed to choose between your children.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But I'm making you do that. Top 3.
It has to be a song called Celebration.
Okay.
Featuring Ice Prince, Anati, and Seyshaya.
You say that like you're just talking about I don't know.
that was really dope.
No shade to the Tepos, but like
don't worry, Tepos. Nothing against you. You're great.
Ice Prince, Anati. Come
on one song credit, and it was on DJ Dimplez's album Kubu, which I worked on like 3 different songs on that album, but like that one for me had this really beautiful feel, and it was composed by Anati, and like he did an amazing job. It's got this Lion King feel to it, and it was before Lion King actually. So
futuristic.
he was preparing himself for bigger things,
Yeah.
Love that one. I have to say Vicky by DJ Speedsta, because that was like my first big commercial song that was out there.
Yeah, it was doing mad rounds on the radio. Hey,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
an amba. Yeah.
And then I have to say Roots by Zakwe featuring Stogie T, because that's the first song that like went gold and made the album go gold. Like his album went gold. The single went gold, the album went gold, and it was just like, we did that, and we had been preaching it. Like, guys, we've got this ability, we can make
we got this. We can actually do this.
We can do this thing, So it was so beautiful to see that unfold.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song. It's a really dope song, by the way. And I mean, Zakwe.
Yes, of course.
Come on.
Rap royalty.
Yeah, no, indeed. What inspires your writing?
The fact that I can do it.
Oh,
yeah. There's no.
Gonna be like, oh, my family.
There's no fairy tale about it.
Yeah.
I just live life, and I could wake up in the morning any day of the week and write a song, or write a story.
Yeah.
Because it's within me. It's like always pressurized, and the moment I let it out, then it's there. It's there. There's no fairy tale inspiration that happens.
Yeah, you're just like, I want to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to do today. Simple.
I'm a postman that delivers letters, basically.
Okay, cool. Speaking of your writing, I know that there is a stage play that you are busy with.
Yes.
Other like really cool stuff that you've mentioned that you're working on. And we'll get to that.
Cool.
Before we do, though, I want to know about your experience in the Big Brother house, Avi.
Experience in the Big Brother house. Oh,
You're like,
man.
oh, what a broad question.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I want to know about the experience is, number one, why did you enter?
I was bored.
Oh.
Yeah, I was bored. And I
Okay,
wanted to
that's
shake.
the most honest answer I've ever
I wanted
heard.
to shake things up. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to put myself through the paces and see if, I still have the ability to, acclimatize or acclimate to a new environment and thrive in it.
Yeah.
And of course, there was 2 million rands on the line. I'm not a trust fund baby. That money, that money was more than welcome, So yeah, that was it. I just wanted to try something that not a lot can do or experience.
Yeah. What was your lowest moment in the house? One that you probably didn't speak about in your diary sessions or to your other close housemates? Just something you went through by yourself and you're like, yeah, no, today, dabo, but let me get back up.
It's not a moment, it's a week.
Oh,
Yeah, week 8.
What was going on in that
week 8. We even have a code with the other housemates.
Oh.
If somebody hits you up and is like, yo, I'm going through week 8.
You know what's
You know
up.
that, okay, I got to pick up the phone and call them. The text is not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, week 8 was tough. But I think one was like my best friend in the house being evicted. That was the first blow. The second blow for me was when family came to visit, which was like a first for Big Brother.
They
there was
hated you guys for
There was
that.
a lot of firsts this season. But like when family came through, I mean, I was
And your
elated.
sister came,
I was
yeah?
elated to see Cece. I was like, oh my God, it's my sister.
And you can't move.
You know, I can't move. I can't communicate with her. But I think later on, I was like, I wish it was my mom. I wish I had seen my mom. Maybe I did say that in my diary sessions as well, because a couple of other housemates' parents came through. So I was kind of like, maybe I need to see my mom. But then I thought about it as well. And I was like, well, later on, I was like, yeah, I would have been bawling. I would have
You
been,
wouldn't have been okay.
I would have been a mess.
Because you're a
Definitely.
mama's boy.
100%.
Where does that stem from? You just grew up close, or like, what was
My
it? Are you the
mother's-
last born?
No, I'm a middle child.
Middle child, okay.
Which still falls in the same territory.
It does. Yeah. So why are you a mama's boy? How did you gravitate
My
towards your mom
mother
like that?
is just a really nurturing person. She's really attentive and is really present as a parent. And I grew up with an affectionate mother. Like every day, I love you. Every day, a hug. Every day, a kiss. Not it's a special occasion, So that in your grown self now manifests in a different way, and we're like best friends. We're friends now, and besides the child-parent relationship, we're like homies,
besties.
and we share everything. And she's even like cool with my friends. Like,
oh, they have friends too.
No,
Kinda.
No, like, kinda like Bridget and Stat, the people that are closest to me.
Yeah. Do you find that your relationship with your mom is a advantage or disadvantage in your romantic relationships?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
Take us through one disadvantage and one advantage. Just one of
the
each.
disadvantage is that she sees the best version of me, and might not always think that the next person is deserving.
Oh.
So it's always high standards. Yeah, that's it. And an advantage is she'll always be honest with me. So if I'm like in a pit or going through something or in a bad situation in a relationship, she'll always give me, the best advice for me and not what suits her or the next person.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, no, you would have definitely been a mess then if she was the one to come into the house. Your biggest takeaway from being there until the very last day?
My biggest takeaway from that is that if you really honestly believe in yourself, and I got a lot of flack for how much I believe in myself, but that's what got me to the end. And I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to keep pushing myself. I'm going to keep doing things that people say that I can't do or shouldn't do, because that's the example I want to set for the young people of this country, that, rather do it and fail than not do it at all.
I love that. Now, let's speak life post the house, work, especially post leaving the Big Brother house. Like I said, you are currently busy with Balega. Tell us about that.
I love how you said it in a Tswana way. Balega.
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 Balega. Balega.
So I love it.
Okay, yes. Tell us.
Balega is a stage play. And I remember coming out the house and being presented with an opportunity, which is quite big. I was like, am I really ready for this? Am I really ready to dive into this directly? And I kind of had this feeling that I needed to do something else to like bridge my time in the house and kind of like purify my creative process through that.
Energy.
And I really wanted to work with young people. I really wanted to work with kids, and I still do. Probably most of my projects, you'll see young people in them.
Listen to the kids.
And Amen, Makado said it. So I was in touch with this lady from Woodbank. Her name is Busi, and she was like saying, hey, if you need resources, if you need anything, we're out here. What do you want to do? And then we started having the discussion about doing a stage production.
Okay.
And then from there, I decided, okay, cool, we're going to do it. Would you be able to put together the resources? Will we be able to find kids? She's like, don't worry about all of that. That'll be sorted. You focus on the creative part of things. So literally that day, I went in and started writing. It took me 2 to 3 days to write the whole story.
Wow.
And then it took me 2 weeks
to what?
to nitpick it and be the perfectionist that I am.
You are,
And it was really a beautiful process, creating it, meeting the kids, going to do auditions with the kids, and now starting to work on the other aspects of production, doing rehearsals and stuff like that, working on the music. There's music. I've made original music for Balega.
Nice.
And it sounds good, if I have to say so myself. It sounds really good.
You do have to say so.
So, I mean, the story itself tackles, the youth and in particular the problems with education, moving out of high school, going to varsity, the fees, how expensive they are, tuition in university is probably some of the highest in our country. That doesn't even include boarding, transport, or whatever else that the kids might need, textbooks and all of that. So I kind of wanted to do something that I felt like needed to be addressed and needed a spotlight on it. And that's what the story is centered around.
I love that. Such serious issues that you are dealing with. Fees. Also, I think there's a lot of mental and emotional transitions that happen within young people at that time. So it's a very critical story to tell. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
What other projects can we expect from Papa Ghost this year, in 2024?
I think only other I don't think people understand. I can't do a
Take
lot
your time.
at the same time, especially because the projects are so demanding to write a play, create the music, and then have to go and do the casting and start to direct these kids as well. It literally occupies all of my time and my mind space, especially because I don't want too much clutter in that space.
Yes.
But I do have a project. Post Balega. It's a mini series.
Nice.
I have signed a paper that says I cannot mention any names, but it's a mini series. It'll be 4 episodes long. I can tell you some details.
Yeah.
And I've already started to work on it.
I love that.
And it's gonna be my first TV project, so I'm really, really excited about that. Let's go 2024.
Let's go. You must call me. I actually am a production coordinator.
Really?
By the way, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I went to AFDA. I did the things. I studied TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're definitely on. You're definitely on. And I need people around me that are hardworking, competent, and driven.
Say
Much
less.
like you.
Say less. Thank you. All right, cool. I want to wrap it up by asking you, what are you being intentional about right now in your life?
I'm being very intentional about what I want. And I'm being very intentional about what it takes for me to get there. So I'm basically fully dedicated to my craft. I think my mind has been in many different places in the past.
Yeah.
Scattered around entertainment and then around the arts. But right now, like I said, I'm channeling my focus and I'm going to execute a project at a time. I have all the time in the world. That's what I'm telling myself. And I know that in time, I'll be at the Emmys.
Yeah.
Talking about shout out to Boipelo, She was one of the first ones that believed in me.
I love that.
Word.
Oh man, amazing. And then any music that you're dropping this year, or you're just solely focusing on the element of storytelling through, TV, stage, that art form?
So the beauty is, because I've made original music for Balega, there will be an attached EP of 4 songs, maybe with a bonus
smart. Yeah.
from Balega. So it'll be all original music that will be coming out after the play.
All right.
So
cool.
there's the music.
There's the music. You're just you know what? I'm killing it. One go. I
Official
love it.
soundtrack vibes.
I love that. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming through, Papa Ghost.
Thank you for having me. So much.
You are doing incredible. I am very inspired actually by your story, because I feel as though you are someone who kind of started, you said in IT, and then you're like, I'll do the work, because you took what you took from that, but at the end of it, you still got back on track to what you really want to do. And right now you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that.
It's scary and exciting at the same time. Yeah.
Alrighty, all of the very best. Thank you so much for coming. Where do we find you on socials and things like that? To give you a follow, like, comment, subscribe, those things.
Yeah, I'm Papa Ghost on all socials, I think. At Papa Ghost.
You think?
And
You
also
don't
I
run
have.
your social media?
I do. I run my social media. Okay. So if you
You
get
don't
a
even know
response
your-
from me, it's
How
me.
shock are your handles? Joking.
Yeah, at Papa Ghost, Twitter, and all of them, and Instagram. And then there's a Team Papa Ghost, which is also my supporter pages, where I think a lot of the stuff of what I'm doing actually gets posted to. So yeah, that's how people can reach me.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it. Give him a follow. Keep a lookout for all the incredible work that he is doing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
and
you
all
for
of the
having
very
me.
best.
Thank
We
you. I almost
are-
forgot.
What?
I almost
What?
forgot before you
What?
sign out.
What?
If you're looking for work, if you're looking for me for work, Be Cool Media. Just email Be Cool Media.
Be Cool Media.
Thank you.
You heard it. Please, we don't want problems. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Mwah.
Cheers.
This is 5FM.